Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight for tonight's special presentations. We're beginning this evening by recognizing two outstanding individuals whose professionalism, dedication, and integrity reflect the very best of their roles. Our Deputy of the Quarter and Classified Employee of the Quarter from the Moreno Valley Sheriff's Station. These honorees have consistently gone above and beyond their duties, demonstrating excellence, reliability, and a strong commitment to service. Their hard work and attention to detail have strengthened their teams and advanced the mission of public service in our community. Beyond their professional achievements, they've shown leadership through kindness, always ready to lend a hand, support a colleague, and serve with pride and humility. Their example inspires everyone around them to give their best. Tonight, we proudly recognized Sheriff's Records Clerk Delaney Nilsson, Classified Employee of the Quarter, and Deputy Jacob Padilla for Deputy of the Quarter of the Moreno Valley Sheriff's Station. While Delaney could not join us this evening, we extend our appreciation for her dedication, professionalism, and positive impact on her team and the community. At this time, I'd like to invite Deputy Jacob Padilla to join me at the podium and be recognized. Please join me in a round of applause. Congrats. I think he already knows he's going to have to say something, so that's why he's like, Deputy Padilla has truly hit the ground running since returning to the Moreno Valley Sheriff's Station. He consistently demonstrates professionalism, dedication, and service above self. From mentoring the next generation of deputies as a field training officer to volunteering for additional calls, his calm, steady, and respectful approach earns the trust of both citizens and colleagues. His work has directly contributed to the safety and well-being of our community, and we are grateful for the difference he makes every single day. On behalf of the Mayor and the City Council of Moreno Valley, it is my pleasure to present you with the Deputy of the Third Quarter certificate in recognition for your outstanding contributions, commitment to duty, and exemplary service. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hold on, brother. Hold on. I know. Look, his lieutenant says, you're going to have to say something. He's like, all right, let me get this out of the way. Hold on. Now, I need you to take this. Oh, yeah, this is for you, brother. Thank you, sir. And then I think your department got you something. So now, would you like to say a few words?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. This award means a lot to me. I come from a family of law enforcement, and without them, I wouldn't be here. They keep me grounded. To my shift members, I don't want to get choked up, but to my shift members, I appreciate you guys. I have a blast working with you guys. My supervision, my corporal, I appreciate you guys, everything you guys do for me. You guys motivate me every day to be the best deputy I could be. Captain, lieutenant, appreciate everything you guys do for not only myself, but the station and keeping this thing going and heading in the right direction. But most importantly, to my family, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys coming out here to support me. Thank you, guys.
See, that wasn't that bad. You did great. Thank you very much. Well, thank you for your dedication and example of service. At this time, I'd like to invite Mayor Cabrera to the microphone to present our... Actually, let's take some pictures. Is that okay if we do some pictures? And LT, you can come up here and take some photos or give a speech or whatever you want to do. Get you right here in the middle. Three gentlemen up top. There we go. All right. And 1, 2, and 3. You got one more for safety. And 1, 2, and 3. Wonderful.
It's a family picture.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, come on.
Family in here?
No. Come on, over here, we gotta balance out a little bit. There we go, yeah.
From here. There we go. All right. And 1, 2, 3. Wonderful.
Wait, one more. Come on, Ed. Perfect, thank you. Wait, come on.
Jake.
Thank you for your service.
No. You got no, we're not done. Okay, well, like, yeah, we gotta get her on.
All right, and 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Can we give it up once again for our deputy of the quarter and his entire team in our police department, please? A big round of applause for them. Thank you, as always, for your service and your dedication to our safety and our community. And for the second presentation that we have this evening, I would like to recognize two organizations whose dedication to veterans and the Moreno Valley community is truly remarkable. We celebrate the veterans of foreign wars, VFW for short, Alessandro Post 8547, and the Auxiliary Post 8547, committed to honoring service, building camaraderie, and supporting our veterans and their families. If you could please join me in welcoming representatives from the VFW Alessandro Post 8547 as they join me here at the microphone. And we have James Vass, Jeff Flores, Joe Arzate, Juan Gomez, Rick Martinez, Teresa Woods, and Greg Roberts Sr. A big round of applause for them. Welcome. Yes, sir. Good evening. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for your service. Good evening. Welcome. Yes, sir. Good evening. Thank you for your service. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good to see you. Now, since 1958, VFW Alessandro Post 8547 has provided veterans with benefits assistance, scholarships, community programs, and charitable initiatives. The Auxiliary Post 8547 works alongside the Post to organize fundraising, volunteer programs, and educational outreach, ensuring that veterans and their families have the support they need. These organizations represent service, commitment, and integrity, making a real difference for veterans and for our community. Tonight, we present to my left here two proclamations. The first recognizing VFW Alessandro Post 8547 for their decades of service, advocacy, and work to foster camaraderie among veterans and support military families. And secondly, recognizing VFW Auxiliary Post 8547 for their tireless work alongside the Post in charitable programs, educational outreach, and volunteer efforts that strengthen our community. Now, please join me in giving one more round of applause for VFW Post 8547 and the Auxiliary Post 8547. And before I turn the mic over, I just want to say that, I've had the honor to work alongside veterans here on the dais, work alongside other leaders, stakeholders, and members of the VFW on multiple occasions. I remember one vividly. This was, I want to say maybe 3 years ago, approximately, where there was a convening at the Post to talk about the VA and the various things that need to be addressed and resolved to ensure that our veterans, not just in Moreno Valley, but everywhere, have the health care that they need, the services that they need. And I know that that is a continuing, ongoing fight. And so just thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the work that you do day in and day out, and for your service to our country. And with that, I would like to turn the floor over to whoever would like to share a few words from the Post on behalf of the VFW 8547. The floor is all yours. Yes, sir.
Little vertically challenged here. The only thing I want to say, Mr. Mayor, is thank you very much for the recognition.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We appreciate you, and we just appreciate the proclamation. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Teresa Wood, and I am the auxiliary president of the Post 8547. And if anybody has any family who has served in the military overseas, and you would like to join the auxiliary and help the community, our veterans and everything, we welcome you. You can contact me at the VFW Post, or we have our own Facebook website, so you could look it up, VFW Post 8547, and all our information is there. We thank you so much, and have a blessed evening.
Thank you once again. At this time, I would like to hand these proclamations off to you so that we can take a group picture with my colleagues. And if my colleagues from the council could go ahead and join us, I'll hand this off to you. And we got one more for you.
We're just switching. You can step down front. Want to step a little bit this direction. Perfect. Ravon, just there we go. All right, let me double check. This one's looking good. All right, wonderful. We're going 3, 2, 1. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Our third and final presentation is the Recycling All-Stars Awards, presented by Waste Management. This program recognizes the outstanding recycling efforts of local businesses and residents and how their actions help keep Moreno Valley clean and sustainable. I would like to invite James Delgado, recycling representative with Waste Management, to the podium. Please join me in giving him a round of applause. James, welcome and thank you for joining us this evening. We look forward to hearing more about the Recycling All-Stars program and learning about the outstanding individuals and organizations being honored tonight. Stage all is yours.
Well, thank you for that. Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and the City of Moreno Valley. My name is James Delgado. I am the local recycling representative with the WM for the Moreno Valley City. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. This evening is about celebrating teamwork and the partnership with the city, our residents, our businesses, and with WM, as we recognize Moreno Valley's all-stars recyclists. Before we hand out these awards, I'd like to share a few fun facts about the incredible recycling efforts happening right here in the city of Moreno Valley. I'm especially excited to make these recognition as we approach America Recycle Day on November 15th. The one day nationally recognizes recycling for promoting and celebrating. Every week, WM services over 46,468 residential customers and 1,139 commercial and multi-families. Rain or shine, and yes, even when the Santa Ana winds come by the city of Moreno Valley, our drivers are out there servicing the city. And the results speak for themselves. Through September of this year alone, we've collected over 32 million pounds of organic and green waste. An especially impressive feat since organic remains the largest waste stream in California. We've also collected 40 million pounds of recyclable material, from cardboard to paper to plastic bottles and glass jars. These efforts reflect one thing: a community that really cares. And why we are here tonight to recognize a resident and a commercial partner who go above and beyond in setting an ultimate standard for recycling excellence. These all-stars weren't just chosen by random. They were selected by people who see the carts and bin each and every day in the city of Moreno Valley, our WM drivers, who are the final judges in this selection process. Our criteria are simple but meaningful. Number one, consistency, dedicated to the recycling program. Number two, contamination control, keeping material clean and properly sorted. And number three, cleanliness, maintaining a tidy container and clean enclosure. Unfortunately, our All-Stars couldn't make it today, but we'll still like to recognize them. Our Residential Recycling All-Star Award is going to Miss Brenda Brandon. Our team had the pleasure of working with Miss Brenda, my apologies, she's here. So Miss Brenda Brandon, please come to the front. So Miss Brenda Brandon, our team had the pleasure of working with her, dedicated to her proper recycling, plus her cart is always clean, properly sorted, settled on time, a model of excellence in recycling discipline.
In the same spirit, we'd also like to take a moment to recognize Ms. Brandon, and on behalf of the mayor and the city council and all our residents. I'm proud to recognize your outstanding recycling efforts and the positive impact you have made in our community. At this time, I'd like to invite the council to join me for a group photo with the award recipients. And Waste Management, we have something special for you too. We want to recognize a strong partnership between the City of Moreno Valley and Waste Management. Together, we've been able to expand recycling programs, educate the community, and make a real difference in keeping our city clean. On behalf of the Mayor and City Council, it is our honor to present Waste Management with the National Recycling Day Proclamation, a token of our appreciation for your leadership, partnership, and ongoing commitment to a cleaner and more sustainable Moreno Valley. Join me for a group picture.
Well, thank you once again, Mr. Delgado from WM. If we could give them a big round of applause once again. And Ms. Brandon as well, thank you for all of your efforts and for leading by example. And I know the other folks couldn't attend, but that's because they're taking care of business and recycling and doing what they got to do, right? They're staying busy. So again, to the VFW and to the Deputy of the Quarter, congratulations to everybody that was represented this evening. That will officially conclude our special presentations for today. We'll be back in approximately 7 minutes to start our regular council meeting. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the joint meeting of the City Council of the City of Moreno Valley. The City Council receives a separate stipend from the Community Services District if any CSD business is conducted at this meeting. I now call this meeting to order on November 4th, 2025 at 6:02 p.m. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilmember Delgado. And please remain standing after the Pledge of Allegiance for the invocation given this evening by Pastor Mark Oriana from Victory Outreach Church.
Please stand if you're able and join me by placing your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Good evening, Pastor. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to do this invocation. I don't take it lightly, and I want to reassure everyone here that we pray for the Lord's guidance in all the decisions that have to be made. And I know that they're critical decisions, so we're going to pray for the Lord's guidance. But I also wanted to read Psalm 67. It says, "May God be gracious to us and bless us and make his face shine upon us, that your ways may be known on earth, your salvation among all nations. May the people praise you, O God. May all the people praise you. May the nations be glad and sing for joy, for you rule the people justly and guide the nations of the earth. May the people praise you, O God. May all the people praise you. Then the land will yield its fruit, and God, our God, will bless us. God will bless us, and all the ends of the earth will fear him." Let's go ahead and pray. Father in heaven, tonight we pray for your guidance. We pray, Holy Spirit, that you will be the one leading, that you will be our counselor, our guide in all the decisions that have to be made. I pray for a special anointing upon the council as they have to address issues and come to agreement on some things, Lord. I pray that our city will be blessed as a result of your guidance and the decisions that you will lead our council to make. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Thank you so much.
Amen, amen. Thank you very much, Pastor Oriana, for joining us and for giving that invocation this evening. Next, we will move into item D. Madam Clerk, I'll turn it over to you for a roll call.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard.
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Here.
Councilmember Delgado.
Here, ma'am.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz.
Here.
And Mayor Cabrera.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. All five of us are present, so we'll go ahead and move past item E, motions to excuse. Next, staff introductions, please.
Patty Rodriguez, City Clerk.
Sonia Gomez, Senior Deputy City Clerk.
Stephen Quintanilla, City Attorney.
Brian Mohan, City Manager.
Lonnie Jimenez, Assistant City Manager of Administration.
Felicia London, Deputy Finance Director.
John Kelleher, Assistant City Manager Development.
Angelica Frausto-Lipo, Community Development Director.
Kyle Wersinski, Economic Development Director.
Melissa Walker, Director of Public Works.
Jeremy Bubnick, Director of Parks and Community Services.
Robert Cardenas, Human Resources Director.
Jesse Park, Fire Chief.
Sarah Mack, Chief of Police.
Thank you very much, team. It's always a pleasure to be in the chamber to conduct the people's business. Next is item G, approval of order of the agenda. And before we take a motion in a second, I would like to just read something for the record. The city manager has requested that we add as an urgency item the suspension of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, due to the federal government shutdown. The proposal is to consider providing some short-term funding to help those in greatest need in the community. Pursuant to the Brown Act, we can add this item as an urgency item with 2 votes. First, a majority vote is required to deem that the item is an emergency and that it constitutes an activity that severely impairs public health. And before we move to the second, I will make a motion that we approve. I'm seeking a second.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard.
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz.
Yes.
And Mayor Cabrera.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. That motion passes unanimously. And the second part of this is a 2/3 vote is required to add the item to the agenda, since there is an immediate need to take action on the item before the next regularly scheduled meeting, and the item came to the attention of staff after the posting of the agenda. Again, this second vote requires a 2/3 vote, or 4 out of 5 votes. With that, I'll make a motion, and I'm seeking a second.
I'll second.
There is a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baka Santa Cruz, and Mayor Cabrera.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So that motion carries unanimously as well, and this, I'll pass it over to our city clerk so she can read something for the record as well.
Thank you, Mayor. So this item will be added to the general business calendar as K3, titled as the suspension of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program and possible funding.
Thank you very much. And before we move on to item H, I will just double check with staff to make sure that we are all set to continue. Okay, perfect. Yes, so next up now we will resume to the order of the agenda, and I'll look to my colleagues to see if there are any comments, any questions. If not, we can entertain a motion and a second to approve the order of the agenda.
I motion to approve the order of the agenda.
I second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the order of the agenda. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Councilmember Bernard,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baka Santa Cruz,
Yes.
and Mayor Cabrera.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, and that passes unanimously as well. Next up is item H, public comments on matters that are not on the agenda. A friendly reminder that the city now offers language translation services through a free app called Wordly. The app automatically translates a variety of languages into English and vice versa. To use this service, please scan the QR code found at the speaker's sign-up table by the double doors. For the visually impaired, please use your earphones or earbuds to listen to the verbal translation. If you do not have any such listening devices, please let the city clerk know, and we will gladly let you borrow some for this meeting. La ciudad ahora ofrece servicios de traducción de idiomas a través de una aplicación gratuita llamada Wordly. Si gustan usar este servicio, por favor avísenle a la secretaria y entregue una tarjeta para hablar. Para usar la traducción, escanee el código QR que está en la mesa junto a las puertas. Before we move on to the public comments, I want to remind everyone to direct their comments to the City Council. For comments that are on tonight's agenda, each speaker will have a total of 3 minutes to comment. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to comment on any items that are not on the agenda?
Yes, Mayor. The first speaker is Pangy Crosby.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. And my name is pronounced Pangy. It's Pangy Crosby. I am a resident of beautiful Moreno Valley. However, I am employed by the City of Riverside. So the reason I'm here tonight is because I administrate the Housing and Human Services Department. I do rental assistance for the seniors and just regular people that need rental assistance. But I get anywhere from 10 to maybe 20 calls a week from Moreno Valley residents. So I'm trying to find out, do you all have a program in place as the City of Riverside do to assist your residents of Moreno Valley? If not, maybe we can get together, maybe collaborate or put some ideas together to assist the Moreno Valley residents.
Thank you. And if we could pause the time, just in case.
Okay.
We do not go back and forth, or we don't answer questions.
Absolutely.
But we certainly, I just want to make sure I pause your time so I don't eat into that time. And we'll make sure to connect you with staff so that
Okay.
we can follow up and get all the answers for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, that concludes all of public comments on items not on tonight's agenda.
Thank you very much. And if the appropriate department could please connect with her so we can get her those answers. Thank you. That brings us next to item I, joint consent calendars. We are going to move into the joint consent calendar. Before I open the consent calendar for public comment, I will ask my fellow council members if there are any items that they wish to remove from the consent calendar for separate action.
I-8.
Item I-8 for separate action. And seeing no further requests, we'll go ahead and move into item I-8 before we take up the rest of the consent calendar. So with that, we'll start off with council questions of staff. Item I-8.
I-8 is a $332,000 class and comp study for Gallagher Benefit Services. Are they not the same company, Coffin Associates, that we discussed that spent 7 years doing the RCCD class and comp study?
Yes, it is, and we do have a staff report.
Okay, can we get the staff report for that?
Yes, and I'd like to introduce Natalie Potter. She serves as our HR manager. Natalie?
Good evening, Natalie.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members. I have a little presentation here for you today regarding I-8. It's a citywide classification and comp study. Just to start off, a little background of what a classification and compensation study is. It is a study that ensures that we have job titles correct, job descriptions correct. We look at the salary ranges. Are we accurate in our job titles? Are we equitable in the as far as a compensation? The key objectives is to analyze these job descriptions, to also give opportunity for growth and a clear pathway for our employees, and then ultimately recruit and retain our great talent. Some stats that we have with our classifications: we have currently 172 classifications. Right now we have 64 vacant positions. We are currently actively recruiting for 8 positions. Budgeted positions we have are 459 positions that you have previously approved. We have a total of full-time employees 395 and part-time employees 197 part-time. Why the study is needed? It's something that we have, what normally in best practice, that you do every 5 years. We haven't done it since March of 2007, so it's been 18 years since we've had a class and comp study. This supports the need, why we need it, to simplify, look at our job descriptions, make sure our market and internal equity, we evaluate that, show that clear career path for our staff and departments, and then to add to our recruitment and retention efforts. The compensation, make sure we align it with the market conditions as well too, so our salaries. In the study, we began with our RFP process. RFP was issued on July 15th via OpenGov, and it closed August 8th. We received 10 proposals. We had a committee of evaluation of panelists, which included 2 from Human Resources, 2 from IBEW 47 Union, and then 2 from the MVMA, and 1 from the Confidential Management Association. They were each of us evaluated independently on our scoring, and we came up with 3 top candidates, which were Gallagher, which is known as Coffin Associates, Public Sector Personal Consultants, and CPS HR Consulting. You can notice that Gallagher is right in between the 2. It wasn't the cheapest, but as part of each of our scorings, that was the top candidate that we would like to recommend. About Gallagher, let's see. They work with over 160 public agencies, including Menifee, City of Corona recently, Anaheim, Santa Rosa, and Inland Empire Utilities Agency. They've been in the business for a long, long time. They specialize in these studies. They have a staff of 7 people and an extended staff of 25 employees to back up this study and proposal. They have a proven record of collaboration, management, employees. We will be working closely with them in this study over the next term. Our recommendation is to approve the agreement with the professional services for Gallagher Benefits Services in the amount of $332,200. Also issue a purchasing order in the same amounts. Authorize amendments and associated purchase orders with budget amounts subject to the city attorney approval. Our agreement term is for 1 year. It will start December 1st and end November of 2026. This year includes data collection with analysis, which means meeting with, reviewing our job descriptions, putting out surveys for the job descriptions, classification reviews, and then they would give a survey, or I already said a survey, recommendations, and implement planning. In summary, the Gallagher Benefit Services will support the commitment we've made to our unions, address any classification and compensation issues that we're having or positions so we are equitable and we are current with the market out there. It also ensures pay practices remain competitive. Our alternatives are approve the staff recommendations or do not approve. The total cost, as mentioned, is $332,200. The funding source is approved in our fiscal year 2025, 2026, and 2026 operating budget. So at this time, there's no budget adjustments needed. In conclusion, this will just support our staff, making sure that we are competitive salary-wise. It strengthens the career paths that we're making with our employees, supports our organizational goals, and we recommend that we have initiate the agreement with Gallagher. Any questions?
Question/comment. So the price of, or the amount of $332, is that because it's been so long, or no, that's just the cost of doing business with them? Mm-hmm. and that's so. I would highly recommend that we put it on the calendar for the next 5 years, or in 5 years, to do this, and we don't lapse, so we keep up with this. So thank you.
Do you have any public comments for this item? No? Okay, so then it's just us, and then...
Yeah, no public
First,
comments.
right now, we're on council questions of staff, and then we move into public comment, and then we bring it back to the dais for deliberation.
There's no public comments.
Are there further questions?
I have one question.
Go ahead, MPT.
So $332 seems like a lot. $332,000 seems like maybe 3 or 4 people's entire salary. Do they intend to be working 24 or 40 hours a week on our agency?
I can't answer questions to what their process and methods are. That would be something.
Is there a process? Are they going to do PDQs? Are they going to do interviews of the PDQs? And then have you chosen comparable agencies already?
It is part of their scope of work. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council. My name is Robert Cardenas, for the record. Yes, it is part of the scope that they are going to be doing PDQs for the employees, and it's going to be citywide.
Okay. Because it took them 7.5, maybe 9 years to finish the one at RCCD. They started with 280. We had 283 classifications. They tried to dwindle it down to 80 classifications. And when they did the research and brought us back the comparable agency prices, they were all wrong, and we had to do the research ourselves. Every fact that they gave us was incorrect. I have no faith in Gallagher, Koff, whoever they want to call themselves now. It seems like $332,000 to look at the classifications against comparable agencies. It shouldn't take longer than a year to do that. We turn in, we're a public agency. Our salaries are out there. To spend $332,000 right now on this seems like a lot of money, especially with the price difference. Why are they so different? 500,000 to 100,000, and then 300. Just picking the one in the middle. It just seems like a lot of money. Why can't we do this internally? Why can't we hire somebody to do a class and comp, to find comparable agencies and look at our 100 classifications?
I think the approach has been that we've been doing it internally, and because of that, we need to right-size it.
And again, this goes based on the MOU negotiations. The labor units earlier this year were requesting an external study be done, and that's why the RFP was released.
I think it's a lot of money. I think it's too much for the work that we're asking. We're asking for somebody to look at our agencies, look at our classifications, make sure that the job descriptions are written correctly, and then price them out against other agency. It's not secret information. We should be able to do this for less than $300,000.
A question for staff. Per the agreement that we have with the union for the city employees, it sounds like, just for the record, want to clarify, are we required to go out for independent third party, hence this item on our agenda? We're not allowed to do it in-house per our agreement.
We did agree to do a comprehensive classification and compensation study, yes.
Thank you.
Just a question for staff. I know that this is being done independently, and you're saying that this is requested from the labor unions as well as the associations to be done, because just so we can clarify, because I'm not sure if you said it, I think you did. When was the last time an independent compensation review was done?
In March of 2007.
Okay, so March 2007, we're now in 2025. And during that time, we were doing those internally to the best of our abilities, and they have finally requested an independent agency that has no tie to anything to do this?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
And this question is more, Brian, a question regarding if this is approved, are the amendments to the contract and the agreement, are there limits to do amendments and increase the amount, or does it have to come back to council for approval?
Based on the screenshot that she showed, the amendments to the contract are pursuant to approval from the city attorney and to budget that would be previously approved by council.
Correct.
Thank you.
So what if they spend the $300,000 and they still haven't finished?
That's going to involve a lot of contract administration from the department. So Natalie and I will be working with them directly to make sure that they follow the scope of work that is included in the contract. And so it would be a good bit of contract administration ensuring that they stay on task. And that's what we would be doing.
And along with all of our purchasing agreements, all of the templates have various legal language that give us mitigation and relief if there is non-performing vendors and so forth for any of our contractual arrangements.
I have a last question for me anyways. Say, for instance, the unions may be in the middle of a contract, and they get this class and comp study, and then they look at it and say, we were way underpaid, or our contract doesn't even come close to where we should be based on this class and comp study. Are we obligated to go back into negotiations with the union, or does that contract expire and then they have this information for the next?
The way it's structured, and that should answer the question with regards to why it's December, because that's going to get us into the next negotiations.
Oh,
We're gonna
it's
have
then.
information. So yeah, so that's going to be the precursor to the next negotiations.
Very good, thank you. Thank you both.
Any further questions from the council?
Thank you.
I don't see any. Thank you, Natalie. Okay, before we move into deliberation, I'll ask one more time just to double check if there are any requests to speak.
There are no requests to speak, Mayor.
Thank you very much. So we'll bring it back to the dais for any deliberation if desired, and then a motion and a second. I don't see any requests to speak, so I'll make a motion to approve staff's recommendations and seeking a second.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Santa Cruz?
No.
And Mayor Cabrera?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. That motion passes with 4 yeses, 1 no. And we'll go ahead and bring it back to the rest of the consent calendar minus item I-8, which we've already taken action on. And I'll bring it back to the dais to see if there are any questions from the dais. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
No, Mayor, we do not have any public comments for tonight.
Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and bring it back to the dais for any deliberation or a motion and a second to approve the rest of the consent calendar.
So moved. Looking for a second?
I second that motion.
There's a motion by Councilmember Delgado, second by Councilmember Bernard. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Santa Cruz?
Yes.
And Mayor Cabrera?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. That motion carries with 5 yeses. And we'll go ahead and move into item J. We don't have any public hearings this evening, so we'll move into item K, general business. And we do have 3 items on general business. The first one is K1, Environmental and Historical Preservation Commission City Flag Competition Recommendations. And we will start first with a staff report from Director Angelica Frausto Lupo.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. Actually, we have Vice Chair of the EHPC here to give a brief presentation.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chair Ureña. Welcome.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, executive team, staff, and members of the gallery. Today, the Environmental and Historical Preservation Commission, EHPC, would like the City Council, with your support, to choose the city's next flag. A bit of history on the timeline. On December 3rd, 2024, the City Council authorized and approved the Environmental and Historical Preservation Commission to authorize a competition to design our city's new flag. A flag competition which has, in 20 years, will be able to provide a new flag waving for our city. After deliberating on October 13th, we now request the City Council to approve the top 3 designs that the EHPC now recommends to the City Council. Out of 83 designs, the EHPC has deliberated and has now brought forward 3 designs. I would like to thank my fellow commissioners, as well as former commissioners Gabby Mendez, as well as Sammy Luna, for their hard work in this project. It was a team effort, and I would also like to thank staff and our council liaison, MPT Baca Santa Cruz, for the hard work in this effort. I would like to yield now to the Community Development Director for a staff report, and we look forward to this council choosing our next flag.
Thank you, Vice Chair. So as Vice Chair Ureña mentioned, the EHPC has been working on this project for quite a few months, and tonight we have the 3 top submissions here, and we did provide you with the contest flyer, which has the guidelines on the back of the flyer. There is a hard copy of the 3 submissions that I will be showing on the screen, as well as a rubric. Because there are only 3 submissions, you may not need to use the rubric, but we thought we'd include it as that's what was used by the EHPC when they reviewed all 83 submissions. I would like to note and emphasize that there were 83 submissions that the EHPC reviewed, and every single council district was represented, and so they were very happy about that. So here we will go with the first design. The second. And the third. So at this point, I'd like to ask the City Council if you'd like me to go back to any of the designs, if you'd like to have any discussion amongst yourselves, entirely up to the council.
Thank you very much, Madam Director and Vice Chair Ureña. Now that the three designs have been shown. We'll just kind of open it up for questions of staff, and then we'll bring it back after public comment for comments and deliberation. And so I'm looking to my colleagues to see if there are any questions on this item. Councilmember Delgado.
Do you have a picture of our current flag? Like,
There is a picture of the current flag in the contest flyer on the backside.
I have it here.
Yes. Oh,
on
not
video.
not on the PowerPoint. Yeah.
Any further questions? Yes, yeah, now's the time we can dive into questions before we move into public comment. Okay, seeing no further questions, we'll go ahead and move into public comment. Thank you once again for the presentation. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on this item?
We do, Mayor. The first speaker is Christopher Baca.
Good evening, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, staff, electeds, and the community. Again, my comments are my own. They don't reflect anybody else's views. Anyhow, I think number 3 really reflects, it just looks really nice. The other two are kind of bland to me. And I would just probably just make it a little more professional, but I think it touches on a lot with what are those polyflowers? What are those things called? Poppies, the poppy bloom, the donkeys. The donkeys are our mascot. We got the M. It's really nice. The Air Force, the airplanes. I think it needs a little sharpening up. It looks a little cartoonish, but I think number 3 would be my suggestion. Thank you.
That completes all of public comments on this item.
Looks like we have a couple more slips coming in here. Yeah, I saw the hands go up, so we'll make sure to get to everybody as those slips come in.
Mr. Mayor, Honorable Council, I would like to go back and reiterate the purpose of the design.
If you could give us just 1 second,
Yes.
Mr. Vice Chair, I do want to make sure we give you an opportunity to speak, but I also want to make sure we get through the public comments. If I could, after public comment, we can certainly bring you back up and so you can share what you want to share.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Roy Blecker.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for pretty much taking and flushing down any sort of community pride that we had. I think this meeting shows it, of the civic involvement that is just almost totally dispersed. The logo, as Pete used to say, had the bird of opportunity flying away. So now we want to get another one with a donkey or a plane. Plain this. A flag is not going to solve the image, the spirit that's currently in Moreno Valley. A flag should represent, like the flag that's on my shirt, and we the people. The reason the American flag is respected across the world is because we are the greatest country in the history of the world, and people respect that because we have proven that. Moreno Valley has nothing to stand on but a legacy of you know what. You can do all the symbolism and happy talk. Ain't going to change a thing, like the issues you heard before. if people want to invest in a community, if they feel that it's going to go somewhere, they will be here. That's pretty much gone, as you can see from what's going on here tonight. So put up the symbolism, I guess. Put the one on there with the donkey. We might as well be the a-hole of all communities in the United States. Because that's what people think of us, and you know it. Sad to see my native area go this direction. The big failure of mine to watch this community go down the tubes. Maybe we'll pull the Hail Mary pass one day and we'll turn it around.
The next three speakers are Stan Yombo, followed by Nathan Urena, followed by Patrick Barwinski.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good
City
evening.
Council. My name is Yambo, and I am the chairman, actually, of the commission. So I'm very proud to stand here. Before I start, actually, I want to just mention to a lot of people who don't believe that young people can do such a good job. You know, I want everybody to give a round of applause to my chairman, Vice President Urena. That was a very good proposal. And I'm going to say, when we ask where is the old flag, a lot of people didn't even know what was the flag of Moreno Valley. So basically, this proposition is to revive the pride of being Moreno Valley. I'm going to disagree, of course, with Mr. By saying that the flag of our city should reflect just the United States flag. I disagree. We need to be the pride of Moreno Valley. That's what we are looking for. We want to revive that fire that Moreno Valley can stand and even soar very far, because that's what we are. I was checking some numbers where Beverly Hills is sold out. There is no more places to build. Bel Air and everything else. LA, don't even mention. Everybody want to come to Moreno Valley. So if we don't stand, if we're not pride, if we don't have that little pride that we're supposed to have for the future, we will not have it. So I'm going to ask everybody in this room to really look at that flag and make a comment about it. Thank you very much.
The next two speakers are Nathan Urena, followed by Patrick Barwinski.
Mr. Mayor, Honorable Council, which I forgot to mention in my report, the Community Development Department, as well as its director, created a memo which is on the table for the gallery to use. And I recommend that the members of the gallery look through this packet and express their opinion on the flag design. Overall, this contest was meant to stoke community engagement as well as pride, and to bring the public into the government forum and to express their views on a new flag. I would like to reiterate that the commission went back to this council where the parameters were approved, and this council approved the contest. We now ask that you decide and deliberate on a new flag of the top three. So for the public, the designs are available at the table for your opinion. Thank you.
The next speaker is Patrick Barwinski.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'd like to just emphasize a little bit of the requirements of the RFP, strictly just talking about what was asked for the designers. So coming for a flag design, it was asked for a minimum of colors, 3 to 4 colors. And the main concept was where dreams soar. So that, coming from a graphic designer, if you're gonna be doing some type of branding or any type of flag design, you wanna eliminate as many colors as possible, because the costs of printing are gonna get heavier. if you're going to put this on a shirt or on a logo or whatever the case may be. Also, if you're going to minimize the design, you want something that's going to be very visible and that's going to attract you from 2 seconds or 3 seconds that you're looking at it. So a lot of elements might look pretty on a big screen, but when you shrink that, you might not see all those elements. So I just want to emphasize, if there's a page on the scope of the requirements that were part of the RFP, please take a look at that. I know everything looks very nice on screen, but sometimes when you design based off the RFP, and hopefully that helps persuade your decision.
Mayor, that concludes all of public comments for this item.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk, and thank you to all of our public speakers as well. We'll go ahead and bring it back to the dais. Actually, before we move into deliberation, I'll just look to Director Fausto Lupo and also to the EHPC members to see if there's any further comments, any additional report. If not, we'll bring it back to the dais.
None for me, thank you.
EHPC, we're good. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair. So we'll bring it back to the dais for deliberation. And I'll kick things off. I'll get us started. First, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you, express our gratitude to the members of the EHPC, the Environmental and Historical Preservation Commission, Chair Yambo, Vice Chair Ureña. I see Commissioner Jackson in the back as well. Any other EHPC members that are here with us? I don't see any others, but definitely appreciate you all for bringing this idea forward to the council, for coming up with this idea and this suggestion, and then carrying through the recommendation and the direction from the council. This was months in the making. You did community outreach. You made sure that our residents, from smallest, youngest residents, students, you name it, to adults and seniors, had the opportunity to submit their designs, to get involved in something that I think Chair Yambo said, this is about building pride for our community, building pride in our city, and also to all the artists as well, who have supported this effort, who have been involved, who submitted their designs in this, who helped maybe others to finalize their design, and for giving their input as well. The arts movement is growing, and this is a part of it. And so I definitely would love to hear from my colleagues on their opinion of these designs, but I do agree that we have to find kind of that balance, I think, between maybe being too simple and basic and then overdoing it with contrast and color and various symbols and icons. I agree that we need to try to strike that balance. And from the three designs, I mean, they all look nice, right? They're aesthetically appealing. They look nice. The colors look good. But I think if I had to pick one that I think looks the best, or I should say, preface that by saying, I don't think any of the three designs are ready to be finalized and for us to make a decision here today. That's just my opinion. I think we have something we can definitely kind of focus in on, refine it, and bring it back for final approval. And I believe the one that really encapsulates the RFP and the criteria for the design is submission number 3. That's my opinion. It looks nice, but I do agree that it needs to have some finishing touches. Some of the characters and some of the symbols, the animals, the jets, all of that is nice, but you could kind of tell very clearly that they come from different artists, they come from different sources, and you could see the difference in the aesthetics. And so ideally, I think we would have something that just looks more cohesive, like it's seamless, it's made from the same artist, and it's so that you can't easily tell, oh, the jets were clearly made by a different person than the poppies, for example. And so, I think submission number 3 is really nice, but definitely could use a little bit of some finishing touches to just perfect it. And it looks different as well. The other number 1 and number 2, they're nice, but I think they're a little too simple And number 3 just really encapsulates, I think, everything of what was the vision for this project. So I'll pause there and pass it to my colleagues.
I'll go next. I agree with the mayor that this is out of the 3. This is probably the most palatable, but it does need some work. And I'm not sure why the orange. I don't know why that color. So, as you're thinking about the aesthetics of it and the characters, please think about the colors as well. I'm not sure what the orange represents, and I'm picturing this flag flying at City Hall and what it would look like outside. And I look at the current flag and it looks more civic. It looks more I don't want to say professional because it's kind of plain too, but it looks more civic, like city style. So I agree with the mayor that this needs to be number 3 needs to be addressed and cleaned up a little bit, and then maybe brought back for further discussion.
I'll go next. I think I agree with the mayor and Councilmember Delgado. The orange might represent, kind of the sun, citrus heritage, maybe, but it does have a little bit of everything that represents Moreno Valley. But I think we do need to modify it a bit, and then again the dark, the black in the background. I think it should be something more lighter than the dark background. But the components I do like, and the M, of course. But those are my comments for now.
Yes, I will go next. So I see everybody's interest in 3, but like one resident said, I looked at the actual RFP for the design work. And so I thought number 1 probably best resembled, and this is why. One of the key components was the simplicity. The flag should be simple enough for a child to draw from memory. Well, I understand number 3 is nice. I'm trying to think, if I asked a kid to draw this, would they be able to duplicate this? So that was one. Then I was looking at the other, and the colors of the flag should use no more than 2 or 3 basic colors that contrast well. Lettering, the flag should not use writing of any kind. However, if writing is necessary for artistic purposes, it should be kept to a minimum. So if you were to ask me based on that, because I was leaning on 3, and then I reread the RFP and kind of went through my scoring through that, I would say that probably your best symbolism of what the RFP was looking for would have been submission number 1 and even 2, but since I had to pick one, I went with 1. And it is true, you do want it to be something that people can remember. I am thinking about if we do have events or things like that here, especially when we're doing a lot of our city events and we have art out there, and we ask the children to draw the flag. I just, as a mother, am thinking from a perspective of I don't want anyone having a meltdown struggling with this. Because as nice as it is, I'm thinking about the kids that, listen, and I was one that had 2 left feet when it came to drawing. This would have probably sent me over the edge. So I'm thinking about it and matching the RFP. But like I am just 1 vote up here. But other than that, I think all 3 submissions were very well done. Thank you all for getting that done. From 82 down to 3 is very hard. And so I appreciate you all for being able to do that.
So I got to see all 183 submissions, and I didn't get to speak on any of them. It was a commission meeting, so I did see a lot of them, and I also don't want to adopt any of these 3. I was thinking maybe we could rank them and give the award, but then maybe not adopt a new flag. But we did make a contest and say there would be cash prizes. So, yeah, but I'm ready, also not ready to adopt one of these as the official flag. That's where I'm at.
And yeah, I think just based on the comments from for my colleagues here, sounds like there's no consensus to make a final decision on what the flag will be, but it sounds like there's consensus on maybe taking, I think number 3 is the one that kind of rose above the rest, but,
Because it's just a first prize and then 2 runner-ups. That's how the prizes are set up.
yeah. And so I do want to look to staff just because of that, because of the competition component of this. I think looking for guidance, looking for your advice here on, if we can maybe ask, if we can decide on kind of which one we like the most, or vote on which one is our preference, and then maybe ask the artist to come back at a future date with some revisions, and then addressing the competition component of it. So looking to staff to see if there's any advice.
Well, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, the recommendations as set forth in this particular staff report was to select a flag design to be recognized as city official flag. So if there is a motion that is not to make staff's recommendation or take staff's recommendation, a motion at the dais could be for any reason. And therefore, whether you want to just finalize the contest without actually the flag design for implementation on the city's official flag, that would have to be based on a motion.
Got it, thank you. And I'd see Vice Chair Ureña, looks like you might have some additional input if you'd like to come up to the podium.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Honorable Council, if of the 3 designs are not to the council's liking or are not willing to be adopted officially as the city's flag, the council can also recommend to the commission that we bring forward a new slate of designs. You can increase the slate or reopen the contest, in which we would come back with 3 new of the original 83 designs. It would bring a new slate. So if that is your desire, you would direct the EHPC to come back to this council, review the 83 submissions, and bring forward a new top 3 design.
Got it, thank you. I don't know if there's support to necessarily reopen it and kind of get new submissions. I think there's consensus here to go ahead and pick a first, second, and third place for the competition, and then give direction to staff to maybe make revisions and come back with, a final design for what our flag will actually be at a future council meeting. I think there's consensus for that.
Yeah. Yeah, because, and I'll just say this, we're not saying that none of the flags that were shown today, because that would completely discount the work that you all have done for the last few months, putting this together, whittling down all the way to the top 3. We're not asking for a new slate. I think the consensus is nobody can quite give consensus on this is the one that they actually want for tonight, because there are some tweaks that that we believe do need to be made, but we are okay with awarding the prizes because these are the top 3. And so we are fine and we are okay with the way that this is coming out. So no, we're not asking you guys to go back to the drawing board and bring the rest of them here. That was the whole point of your expedition, to do this.
Thank you. Another suggestion, if we, of course, we pick the winner, can we ask that particular person to basically come with the criteria that we're looking for?
Absolutely. Okay, so with that being said, let me try to encapsulate all this in a motion, and if it's okay, maybe 2 separate motions just to make sure we clarify everything and kind of bifurcate the 2 things. One would be the competition or the contest, awarding the winners, and then the second part, a separate motion, would be giving direction on what the final flag design will actually be. So first, just, I guess, entertain a motion to rank and award the first, second place winners for the competition.
Just first.
Just the first place?
It's first place winner, and then the other 2 are runner-ups.
And then
Same
runner-ups.
cash prize.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, I think number 3 is the standout, number 1. So I will just make a motion then to award submission number 3 as the first place winner, and then submission number 1 and submission number 2 as the runner-ups.
I second that motion.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Santa Cruz,
Yes.
and Mayor Cabrera.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. That passes unanimously with 5 yeses. Congratulations to the winner and the runner-ups. Thank you for your effort and getting this all the way here to the dais. And now to the second part of this, giving staff direction. I think number 3, maybe number 1, parts of number 1, it sounds like, are amenable to the council. So number 3 as a standout, I guess I would make a motion to direct staff and the winner, submission number 3, to bring back at a future council meeting multiple variations of this design for the council to consider and ultimately make a final decision on the flag design. I welcome any amendments or second. So the motion would basically be to direct staff to ask the artist and the EHPC to bring back variations of submission number 3 for the council to consider at a future council meeting and make a final decision on the city's flag design.
I second that.
And if we don't, like, when it does come back and we vote and we're like, nah, still, just we'll move on.
All right, then
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Santa Cruz,
Yes.
and Mayor Cabrera.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. That passes unanimously. Thank you once again, EHPC, all of the artists, everybody who submitted, and congratulations to the winners. Oh yeah, and is the winner or any of the 3, are they here, the artists
Patrick?
who designed this, are they here with us?
Patrick, are you number 1? No?
Mr. Barwinski is here. Thank you. Thank you for your submission. Do
One.
you mind sharing which one was yours? Why not? Why not? Come on up.
He said 1.
I have the 3 names, but.
Thank you guys. Yes, I was one of them. Unfortunately, mine was not chosen, but just wanted to.
Which one was yours?
Number 1. So, just maybe moving forward, the RFP was completely different, and I'm not talking any shame to the one that won, but if I knew that, I would have maybe designed a lot more elements. So I don't know moving forward how that kind of works, because sometimes an RFP might say certain things, but then the judging is completely different. So maybe that's some type of communication, but if I would have knew that from the very beginning, I would have loved to put jets, donkeys, just like a current mural that I have going on. So thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it, and hopefully we can kind of resolve that type of stuff.
Patrick,
Thank
just
you.
for the record, I circled you. I had you down. I had you down. I read the RFP.
Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. And so we'll go ahead and move to the next item. No, I don't think. Are the submission 2 and submission 3 artists here?
Submission 2 and submission 3 here?
Doesn't look like
No?
it.
Okay.
No,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I just want to know.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move into the next item, which is K2 background information regarding the Sister City program, and we will start with a report from our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. If you recall, on October 21st council meeting, council approved a motion to agendize a future item to discuss reestablishing our Sister City program and relationship with San Juan de los Lagos. The report that was provided in the agenda, along with the attachments, provides background information regarding the City of Moreno Valley's Sister City program and its related activities. Mainly excerpt from the March 3rd, 2015 and the June 14, 2016 meetings that occurred here at the dais, and all of the information that was contained within those 2 reports. With that, I'm available for any questions you may have related to the timelines and any of the activities. But it is all detailed in the staff report as well as the 2 attachments that were part of the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. City Manager. So we'll go ahead and bring it back to the dais for any council questions of staff.
I just have one. Brian, this was our sister city years ago, correct?
It was our sister city from the early 90s that
I read it.
Back in 2015 and 2016, your predecessors wanted to take a look at it and see where they wanted to go. It appears that at that particular point in time, the information trail kind of was lost, and there was no activity since.
Thank you, sir.
And Brian, as far as the sister city, I believe this might be the only one we've ever had. Is that correct?
To my knowledge and my research, yes, this is the only one. Back in 2016, there was a potential of another sister city that was being evaluated, but that, again, like my previous comment, that information trail was lost due to no action taken.
Thank you. And I mean, I don't want to speak for any of my colleagues, but, you know, there's a lot of history behind it, behind how this even came to be. Anybody that's interested could just go into the lobby here of our council chamber and see a lot of memorabilia, artifacts, historical photographs from, you know, that relationship. And so I guess a follow-up question, Brian, would be, because it sounded like maybe it's no longer a sister city, but that's still in place, right? Like it's a sister city. San Juan de los Lagos is a sister city until otherwise changed?
The original establishing resolution was number 9357 back in July 13th of 1993. To my knowledge and my research, there has been no resolution that has rescinded that particular resolution and or named another sister city.
Got it. And then maybe too much of a technical question, but you might have the numbers. You're a numbers guy, right? One of the I guess highlights or the things that San Juan de los Lagos is known for, now kind of moving into some of the details of the events and historical significance of San Juan de los Lagos, is the yearly pilgrimage that occurs in San Juan de los Lagos. Do you by chance have any numbers as to, you know, how many people or pilgrims, as they're called, visit the city, and any numbers in terms of economic benefit that influx of people into the city brings to the city?
No, I do not.
Okay. Looking to my colleagues to see if there are any further questions. Okay. Seeing no further questions, we'll go ahead and move into public testimony, public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
We do, Mayor. The first two speakers are Yvette Ruiz, followed by Christopher Baca.
Good evening, Ms. Reese.
Good evening. I appreciate this time to go over and to review the background information on San Juan de los Lagos. My name is Yvette Ruiz, and I'm a very proud Moreno Valley'n. There's a lot of history here, and I love this place. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world. Anywhere else. I moved out of Moreno Valley for a little bit, and I hated every minute of it, except for when I lived in San Juan de los Lagos for a few months. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background information. Romelio Ruiz, the little street that he's named, or this little street is named after him, it was the person who started this Sister City program, and it included not just Sister City officials, but the community in general. So it was a big community outreach, and a lot of people, including city officials, were very involved, and it brought a lot of sense of community, belonging, and honestly, a lot of exchange. And it wasn't just economic exchange. It was an entire exchange of cultural backgrounds, education, because then from there we also had the student exchange program with Moreno Valley Unified School District and San Juan de los Lagos. So there was a lot of different exchanges. There was a lot of beautiful relationships that were formed during this time. And I just also wanted to mention, when you go, if you were to go to San Juan de los Lagos, one of the most beautiful entrances to the town is named Moreno Valley. So, and it's beautiful. So I gave a presentation for the district not that long ago, and everybody that listened to the presentation, whether they were Mexican or not, wanted to visit San Juan de los Lagos because of how beautiful it was. And they just felt an immediate tie. Like, we're from Moreno Valley and we don't know San Juan de los Lagos. And I'm like, yeah, there's a street named after, that's how important Moreno Valley is. And as far as the exchange and pilgrims visiting throughout the year, it's the second most religious touristic place, followed by the city of Mexico. So it's the second most religious touristic place of all of Mexico. And it has between 7 to 9 million pilgrims throughout the year. And if you go, you will see why. And it's not a big town. It's, and something else I wanted to mention when we were talking about the year, I didn't even realize it was that long ago. It was around 2015, 16. The city officials from San Juan de los Lagos reached out to Moreno Valley. And it's not this rinky-dink town. It's a beautiful, big, flourishing town with so much prospect. And they reached out to us, and
Thank you.
The next speaker is Christopher Baca.
Good evening again. As a fellow, my heritage is Guanajuatense. On the side of my mom, Elena Baca, her parents are originally from Guanajuato. So I've been there, and I understand and know the culture of Guanajuato, and I think this is great that it has come full circle to Moreno Valley. And as far as the cultural exchange, there are quite a few people in this city that are originally from that state in Mexico, of Guanajuato. And the student exchange programs, any economic exchange programs, or whatever sister cities entail, will be very beneficial if you revive this type of sister city program. I don't think you need to stop there. Other cities have other sister cities, and I believe, for instance, the terrain here in Moreno Valley is similar to something in Jordan, the Dead Sea. Maybe we can look into finding some town out there and create a sister city from, something similar to Moreno Valley that is also culturally relevant, or, like I said, there's a lot of similarities in that area by the Dead Sea that would be beneficial. But I'm all for this San Juan de los Lagos sister city program, and I hope you proceed on this. Thank you.
The next speaker is Stan Yombo.
Good evening. My name is Dan Yambo, chairman of the EHPC. Again, this is another thing to bring the pride of Moreno Valley. It's fantastic. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to propose for a motion that the mayor can propose also, which is pretty much to assign this project to our commission. The sister program is big. I'm from Congo. There is a lot of, city in Congo that can become a sister city. Japan. There is a lot of places, because we need to think about the future. What do we want about Moreno Valley? My concern is always the name I hear about Moreno Valley outside of here, especially people from Orange County. I'm looking at you. They have bad name about our city. I can tell you that. I want to remove that by making this program very strong so we can really soar to the highest. Thank you.
Mayor, that concludes all of public comments on this item.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk, and thank you to all of our public speakers as well. We'll bring it back to the dais for council deliberation, and we'll go to Councilmember Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you everyone who spoke on this item. I just want to share a few facts and kind of why I brought this up. First of all, the event at St. Christopher Parish last week and a half really brought back memories of when the sister city was in its height, when it was active. When actually I met my wife actually at that time, and it brought back those memories of when it was a real and active part of the city of Moreno Valley. Just some numbers. 60% of Moreno Valley is Hispanic Latino heritage. 86% of that is Mexican origin. So that means 50% is Mexican heritage. A lot of people are from San Juan de los Lagos is in Jalisco. A lot of people are from the Jalisco region here in Moreno Valley. Again, Avenida Romelio Ruiz is right here, Calle San Juan de los Lagos. There was a proven track record already. There's a foundation, right? There was student exchanges with MVUSD. Public safety training was very key during that time with our police and fire departments, especially now. That was a key important relationship. Humanitarian aid. There was donations of fire trucks, ambulances, equipment donations, cultural exchanges between city delegations, right? I think there's also economic development opportunities with Jalisco being a agricultural exporter and Moreno Valley having the cold storage hub, food processing here. There could be that connection. As mentioned, San Juan de los Lagos has 7 to 9 million pilgrims, right, that visit it annually. That means, over 100,000 people are residents with Mexican heritage. And that there could be organized pilgrimage tours, business networks, cultural events. Based on the staff report, right, the investment is minimal with the sister city membership, right, that can give us some training. And there's minimal staff coordination. And another thing, it's going to be community driven, right? So there's a lot of individuals here in Moreno Valley that want this sister city to be revitalized. It could happen, but it'd be, if the city was part of that committee, a sister city committee, it would add the city as a stakeholder there. So I think it's important, especially now based on our current climate, that Moreno Valley does embrace its heritage. It's heritage with the sister city. It's that Mexican heritage, and also work with our partners with MVUSD and others. And it aligns with our city priorities, right? With economic development, youth programs, student exchanges, community engagement, and advocacy, right? We always need allies. We always need partners. I think, we should prepare a resolution reaffirming our sister city, establish a committee with our community stakeholders and MVUSD, apply for that sister city membership, and hopefully return something within 90 days. Thank you.
Sounds like a beautiful place. I actually looked it up online, and it looks amazing. So I will volunteer to go on the delegation for a trip to, no. So
Would we be paying for that? How much does this cost? Would we be paying for Ed to go if we become a sister city?
It looks like we've only spent $2,600 from 2014 to 2016 or whatever it was. It wasn't much. The cost is nothing. So, anyways, yeah, $2,600 for over a decade. So, but yeah, my trip would be a little more expensive.
Yes. Is there a formal question in there?
We're in deliberations. So
yeah.
No formal question,
Okay.
but I love the idea, and we're just reaffirming, right? I mean, we like the mayor said, we really never dropped out of it. We're not active in it. So I'm all for it.
So since we're in deliberations, I'm reading about the study session that happened in 2016. And so there were some recommendations that were given in there regards to how to rejuvenate the existing sister city relationship. And some recommendations to gauge potential interest were, let's talk MoVal SurveyMonkey, community meetings in each district, meeting with community groups such as Chamber of Commerce, school districts, and everyone only mentions Moreno Valley Unified, but we do have 2 school districts located here. So I just want to always remember that moving forward. Can people please remember, because my kids are in Val Verde. And just kind of to gauge from business owners and everyone. So while I know it never quite died down, I do think it is important to hit those key elements, especially if what you want is community buy-in. So while I fully am saying that this can be something that's fully supported, it doesn't cost a lot of money, and I'm sure going to the event at St. Christopher's, there's some engagement in there. I would like to see some engagement outside of that within the communities to see what the community's interest is in this. Because again, this is something that we're supposed to be doing for the community, and I would like to see if everybody in the community is feeling like, okay, this is what we're looking at, this is what we think, this is how we're going to pull people in, you know. And also when we're talking about, I know we say exchange students, but what outside of that are we going to do? Because if the exchange students, again, are only coming from Moreno Valley Unified, that still leaves a good chunk of children that are unable to participate in this program because, again, no one has talked to Val Verde either.
And again, it was just MVUSD because at that time, if I'm not mistaken, MVUSD was the only partners involved. But it definitely, well, better than will definitely be involved in that too. So that's.
And I do want to just say that I agree with all the comments that have been said from my colleagues here, and definitely don't want to repeat everything that has already been said, but I fully support us going out and continuing to, explore what does this sister city relationship look like, what are the possibilities for various reasons. You know, I will restate it, our city is 215,000 residents, 90% of that is Latino, 86% of that is Mexican origin. And on the procession that happened, thanks to the St. Christopher's Parish, the Ruiz family, there were hundreds and hundreds of people out there on the procession. And as the word got out after the fact, after the event, I can't tell you how many people were saying, I wish I would have, if I could have been there, I would have been there. If I would have known about it, I would have been there. So, there's a lot of energy, and it was just so nice to see the pride that came out of that, like how much residents were proud to see this happening in our city right here in Moreno Valley. So that was extremely moving. It was very powerful. It was historical. I appreciate being able to just play a small role in that, and I appreciate my colleagues for helping with that to make that possible as well. Every single one of us helped to make that possible. So yeah, I'm open to all those suggestions, definitely to get community input, establish what used to be in place, the Sister City Committee, comprised of multiple entities, so that different organizations have input and a say in this as well. And ultimately, this is a net positive for our city. We've spent a very small amount of funds, and I know right now we're not committing to allocating any additional funds necessarily, but to start the conversation, start having these meetings, establish the committee, start doing outreach, get community feedback, and then see where it goes. But definitely, I think that this could be a huge net positive for the city of Moreno Valley in many different ways. And I'll end on this, not to get ahead of myself, but if you look at other cities, even adjacent cities to Moreno Valley, they have other sister cities as well. They don't stop at just one. And so when we talk about, maybe the Congo or Japan, you name it, there's just so many benefits that can come out. So a trip to Congo in the near future? I don't know. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Fully support it. Thank you for bringing this initiative up.
Yeah,
now we can entertain a motion and a second and a vote.
So the motion would be to revive the current policy on Sister City?
Well, the recommendation to the City Council was review background information about Moreno Valley Sister City program and provide any necessary direction. So based on the deliberation, if you want to tailor a motion so that staff can bring back ultimately whatever you guys decide to effectuate the policy that you're about to establish.
I make a motion to have established a sister city committee made up of different organizations, civic, city, school districts, right, including MBSD and Valverde, and also doing that community outreach to make sure that we get the necessary feedback from the community, so we can make sure that the sister city is inclusive of all comments and feedback.
And I'll second that motion. There is a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Santa Cruz?
Yes.
And Mayor Cabrera? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That motion passes unanimously as well. And next is item K3, which is the urgency item that the council voted to add to the agenda. And I'll first look to staff to see if there's a staff report on this item. If not, we can move into questions of council.
Mayor Pro Tem, council members, due to the timing and the urgency, there was no staff report that was able to be prepared. This is all predicated off of very moving parts related to the federal closure, the various court decisions that occurred on Friday, and ultimately what the federal administration decided yesterday. And so the item before you doesn't have any particular agenda, but I am able to talk on food program and resources within their community now, what currently is available, and provide you some background information so you can make informed decisions from a policy standpoint.
Thank you very much, Mr. City Manager. So with that, we'll bring it to the dais for council questions of staff before public comment. And maybe one or two questions for you, Brian. In the past, I remember during COVID specifically, we mobilized as a city in conjunction with our partner organizations. Could you share just an overview, a brief overview of what that looked like? And the reason I ask is because maybe those are some things that we can replicate today.
Great, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Let me explain what we currently have available in our city, and then I'll go back to the history of the pandemic and some of the things that we did back then. Currently, based on our Moreno Valley Food Resource webpage, we currently list all the food pantries, whether they're faith-based or nonprofit in Moreno Valley. There's currently 18 that are listed. Family Services Association also is a partner with the city as they are CDBG recipients in which they have a program that they serve seniors. We also have 4 different partners as part of our community pilot program. And so there's various food distribution events that are going to be occurring very soon. Inland Compassion has one on November 23rd at Sunnymead Park. Power Speaks Louder has a food drive on November 13th and the 27th. They regularly distribute food on the 2nd and 4th Thursday of the month. Feeding America actually has a food distribution event at our CRC just across the parking lot. We do have an MOU with Feeding America so that they can distribute at that particular site. They serve roughly 300 to 400 individuals every second Thursday of the month, and it's from 9 to 11, and it's on the west side of our amphitheater parking lot. We also have in the past, when we come to look what we did during COVID, is we had various programs such as Senior Eats, Moval basically on wheels, Plus, we did partnerships with Feeding America. We had Feeding America here at the CRC parking lot. We also had partnered with Al Rama, which was a food pantry and still is a food pantry within our city, to do distribution here at the CRC. So there's a lot of food-based programs and resources that are available. Wanted to make sure that we provided you the information in light of, like I stated, the federal shutdown, the court cases that requires the federal administration to provide SNAP benefits. Unfortunately, due to the delay, there will be a delay of potentially 1 to 3 weeks of SNAP benefits their cards being recharged. So wanted to make sure that you had information available to you to make a policy decision as to if there is anything that council wanted to do related to food programs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. And then one last question. If we decide to move forward with tangibles and allocate funding, put these things into practice, are there sources of funding within our budget that we can tap into and allocate from?
In a quick review, I did identify $30,000 of contingency within the Moreno Valley Community Foundation. And if it is council's direction to staff to look for additional funding, then I'd have to do a deeper dive as to potentially where other funding may be available.
Thank you. Look to my colleagues to see if there's any further questions. Okay, seeing no further questions at this time, thank you once again, Mr. City Manager, for the staff report. We'll go ahead and ask Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak on this item?
Yes, we have Nathan Urena.
Mr. Mayor, Honorable Council, I speak today in favor of funding allocation for the SNAP benefit program for the residents of Moreno Valley. As I believe Councilwoman Bernard will, during her closing comments, lay out some facts for us, which I will greatly appreciate. We're in day 35 of the government shutdown. One of the resources to which the city manager has listed is a whole host of venues for food banks, food drives. I would like to urge my fellow commissioners across all boards and commissions to volunteer at those sites to help our community. I would also ask the council to consider a possible resolution in future due to the federal government being so unstable at times. Like I mentioned, this is day 35 of the federal government shutdown. Who knows? If the government reopens in a month, what's that from it shutting down again? So I ask that the council in future possibly consider a automatic stabilizer as an emergency fund. So in future, if we are faced with a federal government who is unwilling to open and is willing to cut SNAP benefits, that this city is prepared with funds to help its residents. With that, I just again urge all my fellow commissioners on the wide-ranging commissions to volunteer and go help your community. I know I will be doing so. Thank you.
Mayor, that concludes all of public comments on this item.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. So we'll go ahead and bring it back up to the dais for council deliberation.
I think that $30,000 will go extremely fast. So I'm 100% all for that. And then we'll discuss, I guess, where the rest would come from, or I don't know if we should just like let the valve open and just continue to pull from it, or set a cap initially, kind of reassess, see how everything's going, and then come back if needed. But I'm 100% all for this. This is absolutely necessary. It will go fast.
Yeah, me too. I think that we should do this and then also put this back on our agenda when we come back in 2 weeks to see where we are then as well. Like, Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that gives us enough time so that we take immediate action. We can provide some immediate relief to the community, and it gives us time to track what happens with the courts and the federal government. Things could change. So yeah, definitely agree that, we should bring this back at our next council meeting, so that we can continue the conversation, revisit it. But for now, definitely need to allocate some funding here this evening. Yeah, hopefully shutdown will be over by then, but we'll see.
So
We'll see
do we
what
need a
happens.
motion?
Okay, knowing that there's at least a $30,000 that's available in the Moreno Valley Community Foundation, I think there's support, it sounds like, for at least the 30,000. Now, beyond that, is there any suggestions on a number?
Yeah, I think we should talk about the 30,000, vote on that, and then in 2 weeks, you can say to us, hey, that was in 3 days, we lost it, so.
Yeah.
Or we
need to
still
increase
have
it.
some, we had, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
where we
food
could
banks.
find
Yeah.
other funding sources, other partners that can come in, things like that. And the reason I think we should probably do that, to be quite honest, is we've identified 30,000, and this was a motion that was made emergency, so they haven't quite had time to kind of deep dive on it. If we bring it back in 2 weeks, then maybe there's something else.
And like you stated before, Council, we could treat this just like an emergency based on our procurement policy as well. Typically, what would happen if an emergency is declared, we have to bring a staff report back to you, providing you how we spent the money, how it was used, currently what is the current condition of the emergency, and then that way you're able to have the background information to make informed decisions going forward. So we could just do that. It sounds like there's consensus on that. So as part of the staff report, this 30,000 will be discussed and how it was deployed and how we were able to additionally benefit our residents. The only thing is now when you discuss the 30,000, how do you want it deployed?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think it's reasonable to start with the organizations that we already work with, like Feeding America. I think it would be a perfect opportunity if Feeding America is open to it, maybe that upcoming event, or if it's better to host a one-off separate event here at the CRC, to really advertise it, to let the community know that this is happening. They could come and pick up food here. I think that would be a great opportunity. And then maybe funding some of those organizations that have food pantries or food banks, food distribution events like Al Rahma, like Power Speaks Louder, like Building Up Lives Foundation. I think Inland Compassion was mentioned as well. And so let's look at those organizations that already provide those services. Okay, so I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz?
Yes.
And Mayor Cabrera?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, and that passes unanimously. Thank you to our staff. Thank you. Yes, Brian.
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Thank you for your guidance and the ability to provide direction to staff. Additionally, what we will do now with your approval of this, we will be setting up the various press release, social media, additional information on our food resource pages as well to get the information out there as to when these particular dates that I have mentioned are, as well as we work with our partners, the additional capacities that they may have to ensure that our residents, our citizens are informed when these particular dates and events will occur. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Next up, we'll move into item L, the Regional Commission Committee Board Reports. We do have, it looks like 2. And first up is L3, that's RCTC, and then we'll head to Councilmember Bernard. But for RCTC, I'll be providing an update from the Transportation Commission Budget and Implementation Committee meeting held on October 27th. The committee approved $25,054,131 of 2024 and 2026 State Transportation Improvement Program towards the Western Riverside County and Palo Verde Valley Target Share Funding Capacity. The committee heard a presentation on the Citizens and Specialized Transit Advisory Committee Transit Needs public hearing. The next meeting is scheduled to be held on November 24th. That concludes my report on the last RCTC Budget and Implementation Committee meeting. And the second report is from Councilmember Bernard for RTA.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight I'm providing updates from the RTA Board of Directors meeting held on October 23rd. The board authorized staff to award an agreement to Southwest Lift and Equipment Incorporated for the purchase and installation of a bus wash chassis lift in the amount of $231,000. I was also selected as a member of the Board of Officers nominating committee. That was not by choice. There was literally one side, and we all at some point were the only names being pulled out the hat, so we took care of it. The next meeting is scheduled to be held on November 20th. That concludes my report on the last RTA Board of Directors meeting.
Thank you, Councilmember. That brings us to item M, Employee Association Reports. We do not have one this evening, which brings us to item N, the famous City Manager's Report.
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Just 2 items tonight prior to our next meeting. I just wanted to remind everybody that November 11th is Veterans Day. Although City Hall will be closed, we do have an event here at our memorial on our City Hall campus at 11 a.m. So residents, staff, please remember that we do have the event, and please come on out and participate. Also, the Fun Color Run is going to be held Saturday, November 15th at 9 a.m. Registration is going to be closing soon, so please register, come out, and have a lot of fun with residents and staff as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. City Manager. And that brings us to item O, the City Council closing comments. And we will go to District 4, Councilmember Bernard.
Thank you, Mayor. I first want to thank the sheriffs for their trunk or treat. Always a big event. This is year number 3, and the line continues to grow. So I'm afraid we probably need to start that at 3 p.m. Also, in regards to the Color Fun Run, I got you, Jeremy. We have roughly a couple hundred slots left. Also, they did not mention this, but they are having a costume contest this year. I heard Jeremy was signing up. Claudia also reminded us that they are taking pets, but Jeremy then reiterated that they are taking pets with owners. Humans have to be there too. And so I invite you all to come out to the Color Fun Run. My entire family will be there. As I told someone, 9 signups later, a couple $100 in the hole, and my whole family and I will be out there doing the Color Fun Run. So thank you for that. And you're right, Nathan. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you a few facts. So technically Wednesday makes 35 full days of this shutdown. And while we knew SNAP benefits were being canceled, 4547 decided to throw a Great Gatsby party. Now, I am all for a good costume party. It was Halloween, All Hallows Eve. I'm always good for one. But what I'm not good for is 42 million Americans, 16 million of them children, not knowing where their meal is going to come while we are literally watching them eat and just be merry and just be great. Also, for those of you that don't know, I'm a big fan of the Hunger Games. And so while they were sitting there and we were all living in District 12 and District 4, with just the opulence of it all, I have Kash Patel, yes, that's right, your FBI director, who at some point they've got to fire him because he flubs all the time, taking a $60 million jet to see his girlfriend perform in Pennsylvania. I've got Christy Nome, the DHS secretary, spending $200 million of taxpayer funds, because remember, they can't feed the children, $200 million on 2 golf jets. And also, just so we're clear, in the words of Tupac, they have money for wars but can't feed the poor. We have now decided that the president has decided that Mexico is on his radar for us to invade because, God, I don't know what Mexico did. Nigeria is probably wondering what the hell they did, but Nigeria is on the map. And he's taking war powers to Venezuela. Now, do you remember when he bombed that boat last time and there were 2 survivors, but they said it was a drug boat? Well, if it was a drug boat, the simple response would have been, bring them here, right, to America, let us put them on trial, get them a lawyer, let's find out what happened. But did they do that? No. They sent them all the way back to Venezuela. So I ask everyone again, although I'm excited for tonight because I know the numbers are going to hit the way I need them to hit in these different elections, and they've already started hitting, so shout out to Virginia for doing their job, the city of New York for doing their job, and now I need California to bring it home, and also Pennsylvania, because you guys weren't here to play either, and in the city of New Jersey, y'all reaffirmed a lot for me tonight. I need people to see that this government is grifting. He has successfully monetized this government. When I look at the price of everything that happened and the amount of money and opulence that he spends, he could have just continued SNAP benefits for families. He could just bring everyone to the table and say, let's make a deal. But your president would like to be everywhere but where he's supposed to be. Don't even get me started on this fitness test that he took. Because as a social worker, when he was describing, I was like, wow, that sounds a lot like a test I give somebody when I'm questioning their cognitive abilities. So, for those of you that don't know, if they're asking you to draw a clock and they're like, draw the big line and the little line, they're questioning whether or not you can make decisions for yourself. That's what they gave that man. And they've been lying to him, telling him MRIs and everything else. Also, if I were anybody up in here, I know the holidays are coming. I wouldn't hop on a flight. I don't know about you, but we're going on, what, three weeks or so plus of them not getting paid, and they're not coming to work, and the holidays are here? All I'm saying is, for a government that was looking to find waste, fraud, and abuse, they have tons of waste, fraud, and abuse. Also, we made so much money off of tariffs, you can fund all of these things. And don't come at me in my inbox talking me about illegal immigrants or the ones that are getting healthcare benefits. It's literally written in there that they can't get it. Also, since you've deported almost all of them, they're not getting the benefits. So with that, I close. And keep your eye on the grifter in chief, and have a good night.
Thank you. Next up, District 3, Councilmember Gonzalez.
I just have some closing comments. Tomorrow was Election Day 2024. I was elected District 3 representative, and I want to thank everyone that made that possible a year ago. The residents, all the doors that were knocked on, all the people that participated in that election that made it possible. Those that believed in me, friends and family. And everyone in that process, it was an experience, it was a journey, and I thank everyone for that. So it will be 1 year tomorrow. Also, want to thank my peers for this year, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from all of you. I know we don't always agree, but it's been a learning experience with each and one of you. Also, city staff, right? Without you, I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at. Through your support, your guidance, and your recommendations, I want to thank everyone and those in the public that always stop by and provide your valued input to me and to everyone on the dais. I thank you, and everyone who's watching. So thank you again. And also want to kind of chime in from what Councilmember Bernard said. It looks like it's a good day for the United States of America in this election today. Hopefully, the results here in California are look towards positive things here regarding redistricting, and also to everyone that participated in this election. Democracy is something that must be defended. We must go out and vote. Polls close, right, at 8 p.m., so there's still some time if you haven't voted in exactly 14 minutes. So, and with that, I close, and we'll see everyone else here in 2 more weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Councilmember Delgado.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I do too want to thank everyone that voted. That our democracy relies on our voting, and it's our privilege to vote. So thank you. I also attended Trunk or Treat. I've never dressed up in my entire adult life, and I did this time. It was cool though. It was cool. We had a great time, and there were. I got a report back from the Sheriff's Department, 3414, Sarah? 3,414 kids that came out to receive candy. And I was standing for 5 hours behind that truck, and it was way worth it. But the best one that I absolutely, the very, very last one, I just dumped all my candy and say, congratulations, you are the last one, and sent them on their way. Yeah, they won the lottery, the candy lottery. So it was an awesome event though. The kids were super happy, and I didn't know you guys advertised that well, because it was well attended. So kudos to you guys. Kudos to City Council. Thank you guys for prepping all that, and I'm looking forward to next year. It's going to be even better. There was, on Halloween night, there was an incident by Honey Hollow Elementary School, and I too feel that this behavior absolutely is unacceptable. It was reported that it was in the Sunnymead Ranch, but Honey Hollow was not in the Sunnymead Ranch, but it's still in the city of Moreno Valley, in my district. But the best part of that whole thing, and I say the best part, not to make light of this, but it was on film, so those guys are going to get in trouble for brandishing a firearm in public, and then putting our kids in harm's way. I have grandkids now, and my kids take them trick or treating, and it was scary to see. So I hope they are held accountable, and I hope they're caught. The dog park in District 2 will be hopefully done by the end of December, but it won't be ready to grand opening until March, due to seeding and getting the grass stabilized for our little furry friends to run on. So I'm super excited to see that. I'm super excited to see the actual dog park in its completion stages. We're really, really excited up there to see that. So, and the last thing I'll close is we are approaching the holiday season. Please be kind, extra kind to folks as you go about your daily business. And I'm going to recommend that if you have the ability, especially nowadays, and within the next couple of weeks, I don't know what's going to happen with this federal shutdown, but I adopt a family for Thanksgiving, and I just bring them a dinner. And if you guys, anybody, even out there in the city, have the opportunity to do that, find a family in need, and I know you can find one at your church or through a friend. Find a family in need and just buy them a dinner, and it's not that much. I mean, maybe Stater Brothers is a little bit more expensive than it used to be, but I'm telling you, it would go a long way for a family. So I've done it for a long time, and it's almost selfish because it makes me feel really good, but I really care when that family sits down to eat. They don't think of me, they think of how full they're going to get. So on that, I'll close. And see you in a couple weeks. Thanks.
Thank you. Next up, Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz.
I also attended Trunk or Treat, but I stood the 5 hours in red high heel boots. So
I didn't have high heels on.
He did not have high heels. Ed will be wearing the boots next year.
Depends on what I dress for.
But it was fabulous. Over 3,000 trick-or-treaters, the variety of costumes, even those without costumes, they still came out, and every one of them stood for hours in line, and nobody complained. Everybody had a good time. There was smiles and candy, plenty of candy to go around for everybody. So thank you, Chief Mack and your team, for another fabulous event. It's great to see the kids come out and to see all the different businesses and officials and just people out there setting up for hours to welcome these kids, and then to sit out there in your costumes, and it's hard work standing out there passing out candy. It's a lot of work, and it's so worth it. So thank you to everybody, my colleagues, the Sheriff's Department, and the community who came out to be part of this. It's a great way to give back, and I mean, it's like Ed said, instant feel good for yourself. So thank you for inviting me to be part of this. I appreciate being out there, and I look forward to next year. I also went Oh, I went last week to go and see Kamala Harris in her book tour, and it was a sold out event in Los Angeles. I didn't have the mindset to take a pencil and write down some quotes, but thankfully Commissioner Peak was there and he wrote down some quotes, so I'm going to share with you some that he wrote down that she shared with us. Sometimes the fight takes a while, but we never give up. This administration does not want the American people to know the truth. I love Gen Z, and we got to fight fire with fire. So I hope you have taken the time out of your day to go and help California save the nation. Vote yes on Prop 50. We only have a few minutes left till we find out. And so I'd also like to finish my comments with a quote from a great Republican when the GOP was a great party. Dick Cheney once said, "In our nation's 246-year history, there has never been an individual who was a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump. He tried to steal the last election using lies and violence to keep himself in power, and the voters had rejected him. He is a coward." So with that, I close.
Thank you. Some brief closing comments here for me. Just first, go Dodgers. They pulled off a historical World Series there. Still got sweaty palms from the end of those, all 7 of those games. So as someone that was born in LA and was born maybe, or grew up maybe a mile away from crypto, you know, it's just beautiful to watch, you know, that resiliency, and hats off to the Blue Jays for giving the Dodgers a run for their money. That was just an amazing, amazing World Series. And also had the opportunity to go out and join Yes on 50 rally last week. Governor was there, Vice President Harris was there, several senators, Padilla was there, Schiff was there. And the energy was palpable. I mean, you could feel it in the room, just how excited people are to fight for our democracy. And, you know, not to jinx it or anything, but hoping and praying that just like voters have stood up for democracy in New Jersey and New York and Virginia, that we are going to do the same come time for the results to be posted here in California for Prop 50. It's unfortunate that we have to take these unprecedented measures, but when other states like Texas, where I used to live for 10 years, are literally trying to steal seats and cheat this election, California cannot afford to just sit idly by and let folks do what they're doing in Texas and other states. And so this is our way of fighting back, making sure that all of our residents, all Californians, get the funding that they are that they deserve, that you have earned, and make sure that we don't allow this administration to continue to claw away at everything that we deserve and have worked so hard for in this state and in this country. And so the results show so far a resounding victory for democracy across our country, and I have no doubt that we will see the same once the results are posted for this election here in California. Also had the opportunity to go to the trunk or treat, so hats off Chief Captain Sarah Mack, Sheriff's Department, well done, and a lot of fun, you know, a lot of fun, and it is a lot of work. You're out there sweating, you know, trying to keep your costume on while you're handing out all the candy, but beautiful, beautiful event. Thank you so much to the Sheriff's Department for putting that together. Also, just to announce that on Saturday, November 22nd at 10 a.m., Assemblymember Dr. Corey Jackson is hosting his annual turkey giveaway. I'll be sponsoring again and being there to volunteer and pass out some of the turkeys. It is 250 turkeys, first come, first serve. If you would like more information, please call my office and we'll make sure to get that to you, or go to Assemblymember Dr. Corey Jackson's social media or website and you can find the information there. Again, first come, first serve, 250 turkeys, 10 a.m. Saturday, November 22nd. The supervisor, Gutierrez, was there last year. I'm not sure if he'll be there this year, but you know, really, really good turnout and a beautiful event heading into Thanksgiving. And so Lastly, just want to invite everybody to the Veterans Day event that we have, our annual Veterans Day event, where we recognize all of those who have served our country and have fallen in the line of duty in service to our nation. We invite you to join us next week or online if you're not able to make it in person. We will be streaming that on MV3 and on our platforms as well. And so look forward to seeing all of you there as we recognize and honor all of our military veterans. And with that, we'll move into item P, which is future agenda items, and I'll look to my colleagues to see if there are any requests. Councilmember Delgado.
So I recently heard that the Riverside County Board of Supervisors voted to ban Kratom from being sold or distributed in unincorporated areas of Riverside County. Without getting into the merits of the matter, I thought it would be useful to provide some very brief background on Kratom. According to the California Narcotics Officers Association, Kratom is being promoted as an over-the-counter dietary supplement. However, there is evidence that Kratom, which is not regulated as a drug, is being used by minors since it provides an opioid-type high, which the evidence suggests creates a risk of dependency, overdose, and even death if consumed with other substances. With that said, I make a motion to add the proposed ban of the sale and distribution of Kratom in the city of Moreno Valley to the next regular meeting agenda. And I'm looking for a second.
I second the motion.
And
There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Delgado?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca Santa Cruz?
Yes.
And Mayor Cabrera?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that brings us now to item Q, adjournment. And I would like to, if it appeases my colleagues and they're okay with it, close today's meeting in honor and memory of all the veterans who died in service to our country. We will close and adjourn today's meeting in their honor. And the meeting is now adjourned at 7:58 p.m. Have a good night.